Greetings and salutations, viewer. It is I, Eric J. Chucky, joined as always by the boy.
Hi!
That's the tick you're going with?
Turns out.
Okay. This is the Two Nerds podcast. And today, we don't exactly have a specific topic.
But, I mean, like, we kind of do.
Yeah. But part of us getting to that, and before we get to that, we got to talk about what's crumping. What's crumping with you, my guy?
What is crumping with me is I have been at odd ends. Critical Role is taking a couple-month break from the campaign I'm interested in to do other stuff that I'm not as interested in. So brain has been sort of winding down. I've mentioned before that Critical Role kind of takes up all my room for new narrative, like new show.
Okay.
So I've kind of wanted to watch a new show that I haven't seen before.
You're getting into what's that one? This would have been funnier if I had something loaded.
Yeah, it's really
yeah.
You
Hold
lost
on,
it.
I'm gonna scrape it together because I think I might be able to salvage it by like the patheticness of what I'm doing.
Well, while you're working on that,
Euphoria.
There we go. So, like, I could watch the Punisher thing that came out that I've been meaning to watch, or I could finally try and watch Ironheart, or I could watch Spider-Man War, which apparently is actually pretty good. Or, any number of other things. For some reason, my brain decided to try and watch Psych.
Speak to that.
It's been a lot of. It's for the same reason I watched several seasons of Suits a couple of years ago. Is it got big on YouTube Shorts, and I saw enough that I was like, you know what, I might like this show, and I liked it for a bit, and then I got tired. The same is true with Psych. Turns out, I was like, I saw a bunch of funny bits, and I was like, you know what, I might like this show, and I watched it, and I liked it for a bit. That is to say, 1.5 episodes, and then I got tired.
You've done that before with Burn Notice.
Yep.
And I want to say House. I don't think you finished House.
Yeah, and the same thing.
Yeah.
There was enough cool stuff on YouTube, like clips of the show, that I watched a bit of it and eventually got tired. I made it about 4 seasons into Burn Notice and 3 or 4 seasons into House.
Did you ever end up finishing Lucifer?
Yes. Oh, no, actually, you know what? I dipped out, I think, in the last season.
Wow, that's further than you usually get. What about Elementary?
4 seasons and then I dipped.
Okay.
It's really a pretty consistent rate. Psych made it an episode and a half. That's not on Psych. I feel like if I had been younger when I watched it the first time, I would have loved it, but I'm just past that. I'm not that guy.
I've been there with a lot of programming where the last year when I was first getting into Tubi and I was really trying hard to find some stuff to watch, I tried to go back and watch Clone High for the first time. And I really could tell that this would have hit if I'd watched it, I don't know, within 10 years of when it first came out. But it's just not my humor anymore.
Yeah.
I was doing stuff for work. That's what occupied most of my time. That and, good God, Marvel Rivals finally dropped a battle pass I care about. It's only been a few days, and I'm already not quite halfway through it, but deeper into it than I should be in a weekend.
I also played a bunch of Marvel Rivals with my friend because they made a bunch of changes that seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, the game's basically a sequel to itself now. They've redefined team-ups. Everybody always has at least one team-up, and you can choose between 2, and they get stronger if that team-up person is on your team, as opposed to not existing if that team-up person isn't on your team. I've been enjoying the new hero, Jubilee. I haven't gotten to play a lot of her, but what I have, she's really fun. She's really fun to heal with. I've been doing crazy numbers that make me look at other people playing the character and go, how I'm on console.
I don't know that I have given... I don't know that I've ever hooked on to any character added after launch.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking about the characters I play. Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Cloak and Dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, those are the ones you don't have to aim. I'm old. Leave me alone. Iron Man.
Sure.
Emma. Emma's my
Sure.
main tank, so that'll be the one.
Yeah, it's been really fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do from here. Excited because it seems like the Hood's going to be a tank. So a season where they add a tank and a healer, incredible.
Yeah.
Also, next season, the rumor come out, we're supposed to be getting Gore the God Butcher and Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler would be cool.
I'm dreaming. It's going to be Liam, and that's going to hurt. But otherwise, I'm thrilled. I like Crawler's one of my favorites.
Is it time to bridge into your hatred of Liam O'Brien?
I don't like what he does with Doctor Strange, but he's not the worst Doctor Strange voice actor out there. Went into that as also something I did. Oh, the other thing I did that I didn't want to talk about. My girlfriend went out of town for a couple of days to go to a concert with her sister. And so because I was left unsupervised for 14 hours, I started playing League of Legends again.
This poor bastard relapsed. I was asleep. I couldn't stop him. I'm supposed to be his sponsor. I'm supposed to keep him off the wagon.
The window's literally open right now. No, it hasn't. I played like 5 bot matches and then finally started encountering the bot matches that have actual bots in them on my team that are just sort of wandering around. And I went, oh, right, this is why I stopped doing this. But I love the characters so much. I've really been... And something that I was commissioned to cover that we'll talk about when it's time to talk about it. I love characters so much. I've learned that about myself over the last year. And I knew that before, but I didn't realize how Front Street, how number one, how most important characters are in almost everything for me. They're so strong, and there's such a great 100 and some 200 characters in League. They're incredible. They've got great voice lines. They've got great looks. You can buy little outfits. Not all of them are
incredible.
No. Some of them are Jarvan.
Some of them are Milo or whatever his name is.
I'm sure he's fine. I'm not a children guy. I played him once. He chases like light. I don't know. That's cute, but it's not for me. But that's the beautiful thing. There is something for everyone because there's characters for me, like Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, and old Maokai. Oh, right. You know, we'll bring that back up later. Let us now bridge into Liam O'Brien hatred. We just, and by just I mean 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, we literally finished this and then came over here.
We just finished season 4 of The Legend of Vox Machina.
I liked it. How did you feel, White Raven?
Let's do the compliment sandwich. A spoiler-free review, I guess, is traditionally what comes up. Although we're going to be talking spoilers, so you're going to want to wait until the Vox Machina logo is gone from the screen. Use your little scrolly bar to find out when that is. Spoiler-free review. I care for this show less and less the longer it goes on.
Spoiler-free review. This show is definitely diverging more and more from the base material the longer it goes on. I think those two things might be related. And I still like it, but it's definitely not as crack cocaine as it was in the first couple seasons.
I have theories, but I don't know how much of it's concrete. You now, beware, here be spoilers if you want to wait, if you're saving time to watch it. We obviously didn't finish it in a very timely fashion. It's a week or so after the finale originally aired. But it's not about how it's diverging from canon necessarily. There are a couple of times where it's done that and I've gone, why though? But it's I think the largest problem I have is that it has to hit so many moments in order to tell the tale they want to tell with all the beats they want to show off that they're condensing those characters, those story moments, pretty significantly.
It's like if you had like, instead of having say One Piece or Dragon Ball Z and then the new version where it's cutting out all the filler, it's like if you just skipped to that one from the manga.
You know, that's a great point. And I just saw an Instagram video of a clip from an anime that I don't know what it is, about a guy explaining the difference between the manga and the TV show. Mm-hmm. And little arrows were going, showing how the TV show has to waste time until it catches up to the manga, catches up to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, Critical Role was 3 to 4 hour episodes every week for however long.
Years.
The first
Literally
campaign.
years.
Yeah. And they're condensing it into
12 episode.
12 times 5 is 50, 60?
Was it
60 episodes?
30 minutes?
Yeah, 30 minutes or less. 28, I think they are. You're going to cut stuff. And a lot of the stuff you're going to cut are those small character moments that I appreciate. I'm trying to find a way to watch Sailor Moon. I watched the American version back in day when it aired. And I enjoyed it, but like I recognize now that a lot of the elements I think I would enjoy more are absent from that version because of standards and practices, basically. So I want to watch the more true version, but I don't like those voice actors as much. They sound too normal.
They don't got the vibe. They don't got
No,
the
it's I like Serena. I like her dumb accent and stuff. I liked the voice acting of the old one. I wish there was a version I could have that had the more modern script, but with those actors. I might just have to bite the bullet and suck it up and watch the other version, because I can't watch the Japanese one. It takes too much of my attention span to read while I watch. Sailor Moon Crystal exists, and it is the cut down version. It is they are forced to remake the anime entirely because they want to cut out the wasted time. I want that wasted time, I think.
You want the characters to have time to breathe and grow.
And share stuff.
Have little fun moments between each other. And
it doesn't have to be a whole beach episode, but I would like us to feel like we have
slices of beach time.
Yeah, just little moments, little asides, little quips.
So if it's you said it was about 60 episodes total of the series is going to be?
If my math is right, 5 seasons of 12
episodes. It's going to be
episodes.
about 28 hours.
Which is not insignificant, but
Campaign
you're still...
one's 440 hours. I just looked it up.
Okay, there you go. That's the kind of, compression you're looking at.
You're in the hyperbolic plot chamber.
Now, there is a problem I have, and I've had that since the show started. I don't like Show Vex as much. I like Show Keyleth better. I don't say that enough.
Keyleth, better in the show. Scanlan, wild improvement. Best, and Grog, better in the show.
I agree.
Vax and Vex suffer. Both.
Yeah. And Pike is a mixed bag.
Pike has a character.
Sure.
Sometimes that's good, sometimes less so.
I think the one who's suffered the least is Percy, but Percy also fades out after his primary storyline is over.
Which is the first one they do. So
yeah. And even then, with him catching up with
also he's Percy's class in the tabletop RPG is really cool. In a visual medium like the Legend of Vox Machina, his shit is so much more boring than everyone else's.
Yeah, he just shoots gun.
And not even, normally gun does nothing. I want to be clear.
Yeah, well, that's his roles for you. He either crits or he does not. So it's, I could go into really, really deep detail. I don't want to go too far in. I don't want to alienate you guys too much. I do, but we're doing this with the air conditioning off on a summer Sunday.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, I'm having a good time. I would say that if you liked the first few seasons of Vox Machina, you'll probably like this one. But at the same time, that's only true if you liked the first few seasons of Vox Machina, irrespective of the kind of stuff that you can like more about a tabletop RPG. If you like White Raven, or the kind of person who needs that elbow room, the series is at a very breakneck pace. They do not have room for those elbows.
Yeah, it's really abridged and not in the parody
comedic
sense.
way.
Yeah. You're really good at asking questions that I have answers to that help me convey my feelings. Do you have any questions to ask me so that the viewer can comprehend my frustrations with this show better?
I think I can come up with something. If you had to nail down one solid piece of actionable criticism for the show, something you think they could have done differently, without upsetting their apple cart completely, just make it an hour long and have 16 seasons.
Right.
Can you give me something actionable you think they could have done differently that would have improved the show in your opinion?
I have 2 answers.
Okay.
And I think both of them are telling. One, I think would actually upset the apple cart too much because one of the main components of the show doesn't want that. And that is, I would not have changed Vex to her idealized version instead of what was played at the table. The reason I liked Vex was the parts of Laura Bailey that were breathing through into her. And
that's fair. And Laura Bailey's a very charming person, interpersonally.
Yes.
For me, just to give my opinion, not necessarily to try and convince you, The parts of Vex that aren't the idealized version we see in the show is Laura Bailey being the worst, most annoying kind of loot goblin imaginable.
I mean, yeah, that's part of it.
That's all that's left on the cutting room floor from that character.
It's not right. It's the difference between, and I'm going to try to portray this without sounding ridiculous, so bear with me. It's the difference between, "Oh no, my dear friends, are you okay?" and, "Oh no, my dear friends, are you okay?" And I feel like the second one is what's in the show. She's always got her armor up.
She feels too poised.
Vex is so poised, whereas Laura screaming over the potential death of a fellow character.
I feel like Vex is not as poised as you perceive her because her accent is very fancy.
Well, and maybe it's it might be a consistency thing, but that it's still turning the volume down.
And that's fair. I see Vex at odd ends and, freaking out a lot in this show in ways you don't seem to. But I think that is because her fancy accent sounds too much like being together for you.
Her face is also very composed. It's a good animation team. They do stuff on purpose. I think Laura wanted her character to be
cooler than how she played it at the table. I think that's actually fair. I'm not disputing that.
Yeah, I don't think I would phrase it. If I were phrasing it that way, I think it would sound reductive. And I don't want to, because I'm not trying to be reductive. I respect where she's coming from.
And that's fair.
But for me as a viewer, it takes away. Now, as I said, I don't think they could do anything. And ironically, unfortunately, my answer to your question, truthfully, is nothing. I think the problem is, I don't like the actual main cast, the characters of The Legend of Vox Machina as much as I thought I did. Because before they were being buoyed up by table talk and breadth. And now, condensed, seeing them at their... I remembered a thing I wanted to bring up. Last night, you and I were having a conversation. You were reading I believe, a Tumblr post, or a Reddit post, one of the two, about why Batman can't actually fix Gotham with money.
Right. And Gotham is 19,000 kinds of cursed.
Right. And you were reading all of the curses and problems, real and magical, that exist within Gotham. And reading that entire list makes this one significant, but still one slice of the DC universe seem so fucking ridiculous that there's no point in ever reading those comics. They're stupid. But that is representing how many different timelines, the facets of how many different reboots, things that have been retconned.
Crucially, since the 1930s.
Exactly. So it's not an accurate representation of these comics or how fast and hard and loose that these things hit. It is a current tally of facts. And that's not the same thing as the telling of the tale. You can make, and people made a habit out of it 10 years ago. You can make your favorite movie sound really fucking stupid in a tweet form post.
Yeah.
By summarizing the plot.
Summarize a movie badly.
Precisely. And I think, perhaps not badly, but I think the condensing this story and condensing these characters is ruining what I did love about them.
Sometimes distillation makes a thing worse. Sometimes you wanted those impurities. Sometimes you wanted the extra mass. Concentrating it down makes it unpalatable.
I have another comparison, and this is the one I'll sign off on unless you have something else to say about this. It's like playing an NES or Super Nintendo or Genesis game on modern hardware. The old games, the sprites, were meant to look good on a CRT. Something with non-fabricated, because those don't look great, scan lines.
They don't look right. They look fine. They don't look right.
Well, the fake scan lines, I think they just look
that's what
fake. Yeah. If you can look up comparisons online, but the sprites sort of blended together in a way that made really chunky, nasty pixels look beautiful and representative of something that the designers were trying to evoke. If you do that differently, if you reduce that compression, reduce that blur, it sharpens everything. Sure, this might be more accurate to the original intended experience, theoretically, but it's not. It takes away the gloss that makes the whole thing more palatable. Speaking of palatability, if you find my winsome voice palatable, you may want to head over to our Discord. I don't talk there, but I type, and my typed words are almost as good as my talked words. We mostly talk about wrestling. You can join and talk about whatever you want. There's a link tree in the description with all that beautiful nonsense. You can also head to our Patreon. $1 a month gets you gameplay videos a week early, gets you access to the limited series that are going on. Right now it's Half-Life 2. You have all of it. There's posts going up every Sunday of that game. You can have all of it right now. There's a secret playlist on the Patreon, $1. And you have access to it. If you want to pay $1 and then not, then just take the link and move on your merry way, you can keep that. Same goes for the higher tiers. $5 gets you episodes, delicious Apple episodes of Violent Profiles a month early. Up beyond that, you can request podcast and gameplay topics. You can also buy my books. Add the link tree in the description. One is the COLT REGAN series, that is an urban fantasy story about a man fighting demons and vampires, and maybe he kisses one. I don't know. You have to read to find out. If you love kissing or blood, then check out these books. Their other one is a regular fantasy, cozy, lit RPG, isekai, critically not a progression fantasy. It is called Red Company. There will be more books, 2 more in that series, eventually. And guys, I'm not going to overplug everything, every little tiny thing. Just click around. Support me if you can. I appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. The YouTube stuff helps other people find this video. If you liked the video, I know this is going to sound crazy. Like the video. It helps. It genuinely helps. It's time for us to react to nerdy news.
Yes. Let's do that.
Okay.
What's the nerd news?
Well, rather exciting crossover here. Judge Dredd is teaming up with the Biker Mice from Mars in a limited comic series.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. Go off, Kings. Why don't you explain to me why you find this exciting?
I like Biker Mice from Mars. I haven't watched much of it. I started watching it archaeologically a couple years ago, and then I realized I was accidentally watching the reboot or continuation series. They went away for a while, they came back. So I intended to start from the beginning, and then I got distracted. But from what I saw, it's all right. I mean, it wasn't like high art or anything, but it was fun. You had Rob Paulson in a starring main hero role, and that was an interesting choice.
You don't often see that from Rob Paulson.
No. But also, like, it doesn't clash as much as you might think, Judge Dredd and the Biker Mice from Mars. It seems silly when you say it out loud, but it would make more sense than Judge Dredd and the Ninja Turtles, which is regarded as a more quality product.
No, that makes sense.
I suppose, yeah. But maybe the Turtles would make too much sense in Judge Dredd. Maybe that's the problem.
No, they're lawbreakers. He'd have to kill them.
Yeah, he would. Whereas the Biker Mice from Mars, they're cool. They fight, shitty people, corruption. Rare music news. There's a special 50th anniversary celebration on August 30th for the Ramones. And there's going to be an inaugural live performance of Cretin Family, or perhaps Cretin Family. All-star supergroup featuring Green Day's Billy Joe Armstrong, Blink-182's Travis Barker, Rancid's Tim Armstrong, and the Ramones bassist CJ Ramone. Wow, what a fucking lineup.
Been a long time since we've had a supergroup.
Travis Barker is genuinely one of the best drummers.
Yeah,
and
that's pretty widely agreed upon.
I hate Blink-182, but it's not because of him.
The drum line, always Kino.
Oh my god, I want to hear that shit. That sounds like it's going to be awesome.
His drums with a vocalist you don't hate?
Not the biggest fan of Billy, but I'll take it. In adorable news, for those of you who care, Matt Dinniman,
author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, as well as several other less popular book series.
Crungeon Drawler Marl is a strange one. I don't know what a Crungeon is, but he does drawl it.
There you go.
Why do you listen to this show? Anyway, he adopted a cat that's the same breed as the cat from the book Princess Donut. The cat's name is Princess Svetlana of the Dinniman Imperium, first of her name, destroyer of filth, daughter of the Oak Fell, she who purrs.
You've got the idea. Like, this is, I mean, if you If you like that, you might like the books.
Yeah, I read the first chapter and I realized I wouldn't care for it, but I support whatever this cat does. Both the cat in the book and the cat outside the book. It's a cute cat with a squashed face. If I've done my job, you're looking at her right now, but not for long. We need to move on.
To peak unasked for. The resurrection of hope.
Obsidian is making a new Fallout game.
What the fuck? I'm gonna be honest with you people. I don't know what happened in the universe that I am getting all these peanut butter cups. I feel like I don't deserve all these wins. They're making a new Knights of the Old Republic game. They're making a new Fallout game, and Black Isle's making it.
Yeah.
I don't understand what happened in the world to make this my fate, but I'm not gonna look too deeply into it.
I don't think you should. I'm happy for you, and I hope I like it too. I liked Avowed, so I have high hopes. I haven't had a chance to play, what's their other series that they're not going to make any more of? Space. Faraway Space. Outer Worlds?
They'll probably make more of those.
I don't know.
I mean, they've got Fallout back, but they gotta have. They're going to keep going with more series after that.
I guess it remains to be seen because Xbox is struggling.
That's true.
And the second game didn't do that well. Avowed didn't do amazingly well.
But they've got their baby back.
Sure.
It is out of the clutches of Todd, Bethany, Esda, Howard.
I'm sure it's still going to be produced by Bethesda, but
that's fine. He's allowed to have his producer credit. Just keep your fucking mitts off it, Todd. You don't understand the series.
Yeah, I don't really have this argument right now.
No, I'm too
yeah,
you're not going to get a good charitable version of me right now.
I'm definitely not going to splice in any audio later that gives my actual opinion.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's coward.
I think that Fallout 3 and 4 were pretty good games. I had a lot of fun with 4. I have a hard time going back to 3, but I understand that it had to be different. It had to be a little different, but I think it's still pretty good. I think it's pretty good. And it might not have the right spirit, but I don't know if you need that spirit because I came along later and I'm allowed to enjoy things.
So anyway, what's next?
So I said at the top of the show that I started checking out League of Legends again. Lo and behold, they just teased League of Legends Classic, which I thought was a joke at first because, WoW Classic. But no, it turns out they're doing either a permanent or temporary game mode where it's the old champs, their old kits, old items, old graphics. Map? Yeah, the old map. It's got their own set of achievements and battle passes, and
I'm gonna play Master Yi, get them pizza feet. I'm not gonna actually play League of Legends. I'm not.
They got a skin for Blitzcrank that's rustiest Blitzcrank, and I kind of want it because Twitch's old model lives in his chest.
I mean, look, you gotta.
But I don't need to spend money. That's so. I want
that's
to.
How they get
that's
you.
How they get me. I don't want to get God. I don't. But it's, what if I did have it? What if that was mine, that temporary digital good that goes away the second the game does, and it's an online game only, so it goes away?
I mean, look, League's been around for a long time. So long that fans of it are so old they can get away with League of Legends Classic.
It's going to be terrible.
Yeah, wildly unbalanced. There's a reason all those items went away. Look. Old school Gangplank is going to cause some 13-year-old to fucking smash his keyboard.
Oh my god, I can play old school Gangplank again. Support Gangplank lives. Holy shit. It's been so long since I played Twitch's old kit. Remember he used to have that blackjack?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Anything else that from the news, nerd news world you'd like to react to?
No, I think we're all set.
Okay. Do you want to come up with a clever line to take us into the next segment?
I'm still basking in all of my peanut butter cups, so no.
If someone wanted to get that reference, where could they go?
I don't know. Look for a comic about Cyclops getting pooped on.
It was a short pack comic, but you can also go to the Discord, our Discord. Jesus Christ.
I'm bad at this.
there's an important thing a friend of mine told me, a wise friend a long time ago. I'm reminded of it every now and then. It's a very 4-word phrase, very short.
Okay.
You are being worked.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's not like a lot of actual wrestling like news this week for us to react to, but there is like what's going on in the wrestling world. Returns, title changing hands, yada, yada, yada. You can tell we record our podcast before Monday Night Raw on account of how we didn't mention last week that CM Punk, cruel, CM Hogan more like, reached in and cruelly stole the title from Sami Zayn. And then the WWE put his real life breakdown about it on social media. The jackals.
Phil went to the backstage and was like, that doesn't work for me, brother. And he put his stroke together, and then brave Sami Zayn crashed out about it on Main live for real. That's definitely real. It's not kayfabe at all. What the fuck is wrong with you people?
It's not even the like weird extra layer of kayfabe they do sometimes. It was just a promo. It was just a slightly realistic promo.
What is wrong with you? Look, I like the show too. I'm not talking from an ivory tower here. When Hangman lost the title match that meant he could never challenge for the AEW title again, I got real life upset about that. And then I realized, oh shit, I'm way too invested in this. I'm way too personally invested in this television show. I posit to you that you could follow my path. You should not be so invested in this television show that you get IRL mad about it.
Well, and I think the difference is you disagreed with the booking philosophy that led to Hangman losing the title.
I also agree. I'm smarter and cooler than them.
These internet people who weren't alive for kayfabe are watching the product and going, those are his real feelings, and they just put them on there. I don't know if y'all are watching too much actual reality TV, if Love Island has toxicified yourselves. I got some
bad news about actual reality TV.
Well, goodness gracious,
that shit's not their real feelings either.
Yeah. You guys from our generation who like Jerry Springer and Maury Povich, hey, I have some bad news for you about those too. See for more data on Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny.
It's turtles all the way down, friend. If someone has a camera on them and they know that, they're performing for you. Right now, literally right this moment, you're listening to this show. I'm going to be honest with you, dog. I'm performing right now.
Yeah, he hates Fallout.
You can't tell them that.
And we sit around and that's my power. We sit around and we love WWE. I'm always buying their AI merch. It's the best merch. Everybody's got extra fingers, and it looks the same as everything else.
I was always saying people could use more fingers.
People could use more fingers. Another thumb, like the Gonzo Journalism logo, hell yeah, man, that's the future.
Now, that actually would be useful.
Yes, it would be, obviously. You have to put a little bit of believability into the lie. Otherwise, it's not a good lie.
I think this is just that these people grew up in an era after certain parts of the internet no longer exist in the form they once did. You guys are too easy to fucking troll.
Maybe they're part of it, or I don't know, man. It's stupid. You guys, come on, calm down.
Look, I'd be invested in the show. Make a tweet. You know what? When Joffrey was a prick, people talked about that too. That's fair. Joffrey's a character from a show called Game of Thrones, for any of you who are too young to be listening to this podcast. But there's a line, right? There's a line beyond which you're being inappropriate, and I'm going to need you guys to calibrate, okay?
Well, and this is from the same crowd that was calling Sammy Hogan, not, 7 days prior. So I think they just want to really hate somebody, and they're, itching, because it has really been slow news for wrestling. In other news, Baron Corbin's back.
That's sad for him.
A little bit, yeah. He kind of feels like he crawled back in through the the Simpsons door.
They made him do the one thing. He said, "I don't care if I ever be world champion. I don't care if I'm never main eventing WrestleMania. The only thing I want out of my wrestling career is for no one to kick out of my finish." That's a very small dream all things considered. And then they made him do it. And then they fired him or some shit. And now he's come crawling. I guarantee someone else is kicking out of that fucking finish. That's just, it's sad. It's unfortunate. I hope if he needed the money, I hope he got paid a lot.
And you know what? I mean, our priorities shift. Sometimes, looking back, talking about being worked, I was going to mention this earlier. If you pay the $1, and I don't recommend you do this because it's not good content, but if you're curious enough, you pay the $1 to go to our Patreon, watch our old Two Nerds podcast episodes.
We were being worked.
We were being worked so hard in editing the unfortunate slang that I do not endorse of the 2010s out of the podcast. I listened to us say things that I have since come to learn were the opposite of true.
Yeah, we were being worked.
We were just being worked.
What you are being worked is a universal phrase. It applies to us too. In the wrestling business, part of the game is that everyone who's a part of it is always lying to you, especially when they say, "I'm not lying to you."
I'm going to peel back the curtain. Is that okay with you? Are you cool with that?
Go for it.
There's an episode of the Elden Ring playthrough. We've already done recorded. It's coming out. Things get a little tense. I feel a little bit sad about myself, and my friend locks in too hard. And I have called it, The Two Nerds Break Up. Pro tip. We recorded this like a month ago.
Yeah,
2 months ago. We're fine. We're best friends. Everything's good. We're not breaking up. Now, when he choked me at the end of the recent Final Fantasy IV episode we recorded, you guys will see that in September, that was real. It hurt. My throat hurts.
He should learn.
I won't. In AEW news, a Fed we like better, Kenny Omega secured the AEW championship from MJF. He also put his ability to challenge for the title on the line.
And I wish to say something for the record, because it is deserved. I still don't like that Hanger lost that match, but them having one person lose that match makes that match so much more believable.
It does.
And that means it did probably what they were aiming for it to do, and I'm really upset about it because it worked.
And the same thing with Darby winning the title and now Kenny winning the title on free TV. You have to do it sometimes, otherwise no one's ever going to believe it's going to happen.
It just makes things more believable. I was more invested because they might do something really stupid, and I wouldn't have liked it, but it did make me buy in more. And that means, in a small way, you won, and I have to give you credit for it. I got worked. It is truly universal, okay?
Also, speaking of Hangman, he came back on Collision. I haven't seen that. Apparently, he cut his hair.
And he's wearing blazers now.
Oh, no. What's happening to our Hangman? I'm to react to that. Whoosh. Is that... Willow's back. That's the other thing. I'm more happy about that.
Yay!
I like Willow.
Nightingale.
She's cool. She's gonna.
Guess the injury wasn't as bad as people thought.
Yeah, that's
excellent
good.
news.
I'm happy. She's one of the best going right now. She's one of the best acts.
Jack Perry re-signed.
Yes. Oh my God. Thank God. I was so worried. There's so little I enjoy in AEW outside of women's wrestling right now. So little characters, all bald, bearded men, all the way fucking down. Fuck the turtles, they're gone. It's bald, bearded men. Everyone's bald and has a beard.
And then there's Jack Perry.
With his glorious mane of hair.
My scapegoat. I want him to be fucking AEW World Champion.
Yes, he's earned it. I'd argue he's earned it more than Darby has in character. Yeah, we've been watching a little bit again, and it's been better.
I'm increasingly excited. I'm getting the Wembley pay-per-view. I want to see it. So I'm glad that it's not a slog going there.
The demon in me wants to see Ospreay fail.
I've seen how Ospreay's been booked the last couple of years. It's very possible.
It is. And the horrible little man in me who wanted Cody to lose, and then he did.
God, it was so funny.
It fed me.
It ruined my ability to ever give a shit about WWE again, because I can't trust them.
Destructive.
I can never trust them again. But it was a bad call. But it was, crucially, the funniest goddamn thing in the universe.
It's me sitting in front of the TV, looking away from it, as the WWE burned. I am Hangman Adam Page, and I've done a bad thing.
Yeah! Just slowly having a sip of your water.
Yeah. It's mail fraud time. Something funny I learned between the break. that you are a huge fan of football. I didn't know you were following the World Cup so closely. How do you feel about the Brazilians having to give up Miku to the Norway? Was it Finland? I don't remember.
Holland was robbed.
Oh man.
I don't even know if it's accurate. That's literally the only player whose name I know. Listen,
I think that's a country, bud.
Nope. Listen, okay? I don't care about soccer. I never will. If we had won, I would have gone exactly one time on this podcast. Haha. Now you all have to call it soccer. And that would have been the extent. And I got to do that anyway, so I win.
I like that we just did a whole bit about lying and you should never trust us, and we're just making it worse, really.
You can't.
Yeah.
Never let them know your next move. I might be in a messy shirt right now. You can't tell.
No, he took a shower earlier today. It's a very clean shirt. I don't see a stain. Honestly, it's really satiny. It looks lovely. Am I lying? Are you a horrible slob? No one knows. You're a pixelated robot. That's the power of the internet. Okay, it's mail fraud time. Let's steal mail from the AEW Games podcast. May they return soon.
Is it mail scavenging now?
Well, so they're not officially dead, so not yet.
When it becomes mail scavenging, let us know.
And I did take all this mail while they were still active. So it was fraud at the time.
So we're the Mail British Museum.
I guess now we have Miku.
Okay.
All right. I don't know what I'm going to do with her. I don't understand Vocaloids or Roblox.
Or maybe he loves both. You can't tell.
Or maybe I love both. Brandon writes in, Brandon Lee, star of The Crow, writes from Beyond the Grave. You have to rename your favorite video game character with a better name. What is it?
I don't even know who my favorite video game character is.
All right,
now.
You got to decide your favorite video game character.
You go first.
And give them a different name. Mine
Bethka or whatever.
I mean, in the words of Edgar, probably Kefka. But I don't. Man, he's got such a great name, Kefka Palazzo. It's so good. I've used that terminology. I've played with that so much in my life. I don't know that I could change it. What is a better name for Kefka? Assuming that's my favorite video game character. That's so difficult. I would go with something Italian. We would keep the Palazzo. I might put that more on Front Street because the tower that leads up to the end is based on a lot of classical Italian paintings and sort of echoes Dante's Inferno. So I would like to see that put more on Front Street. I don't remember the Italian word for clown off the top of my head. It's part of the joke of his last name is Payaso is the Spanish word for clown. Palazzo is palace in Italian.
He's
so
the palace clown.
It's so he is. It's so good. So let's play on his first name, which is Kefka, which is a takeoff of Kafka, Franz Kafka, the author. Let's mess with Franz. Let's call him Franco. I'd like it just as much as Kefka. Make the C into a K. Franco.
Okay, I can't trust Google Translate anymore. They're telling me it is just clown.
Fascinating.
I also have Il Pagliaccio.
Yeah, Pagliacci, classically the clown. And that might be a good one, too. At the end of the day, Kefka is Pagliacci. I don't know. There's some sauce. Yeah, everybody laugh.
Curtains.
That would have been a good line. Does he represent also Pagliacci? He's so full of nothingness. Deep. I could go on about this game. It was really good. No, it's fine. We only need to fill. We've actually filled the 5 requisite minutes on bullshit. We're still going to do 3 questions. What's your answer?
I can't. This is not deeply looked into at the moment. We're just going to go with probably what is the standard at this point. Arthur Morgan, and we're going to say Tacitus Kilgore.
Okay, that's a hard name.
Yes, in the game when he needs to give a fake name.
When he gives that is true. I thought I'd heard it before.
We'll swap.
So when he's given the fake name, my name's Arthur Morgan.
Exactly.
That's pretty good. All right. Well, thank you very much, Brandon Lee. We miss you a whole lot. Let's steal a question from your anonymous source. You don't wish to be caught by the authorities. Here, let's go light. What's a current trend in movies and TV that you like? Do we know current trends? That's a great question. What's the last modern TV show we watched? Vox Machina,
Legend of Vox Machina.
Yeah. Animation's really good.
Yeah, animation's really good and a lot cheaper than it used to be.
I've been watching shit from the 70s, 80s, and 90s in my off time, so I don't know how much I'm a...
I think the wide variety of entertainment is a trend in television and movies I like right now. There is a million TV shows, and if you have a certain kind of TV show you like, there's at least several for you.
You know what? It's been something I love. We talked about it in our last podcast regarding Supergirl. I love it, and it's also been en vogue. The absolute garbage human being trying their best. It's become my favorite character trope, and it's popular. It's popular.
It's so hot right now.
Like Hansel.
I'm so glad you knew that. So there was.
Oh yeah, why? What am I new? All right, okay. One more question. We'll round out this podcast. If you guys had fun, let us know in the comments if you've had fun. Let's take this one from Jimothy.
All right, yeah, Jimothy.
How has your relationship with gaming and hanging out with friends or family changed as you've gotten older? Jimothy, in depressing fashion.
Those are two very different things.
No. I think he means specifically like together.
Oh.
Gaming, a couch co-op with friends and family.
I would say there was definitely a period of time where that fell off, but if we're talking just about like you, because you're the only person I really play video games with, we try and keep up occasional video game playing together as like a good friend hobby, and every time we do, it's a good time.
I agree. I think our tastes have diverged, and that's more...
It becomes challenging because we like different things now. And
also, a lot of the things we play are single-player only.
Yeah.
We probably could have done a run of, like, Baldur's Gate 3 together. That would have been fascinating. But, it just didn't really, that would have been too... Scheduling is difficult.
Yeah, as you see, this is tabletop gaming. I have an answer. Getting a group of adults together to play Dungeons and Dragons is a bigger challenge than most of the things you're going to fight in Dungeons and Dragons.
And yet, we managed to do it, I'd say probably 49 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
So that is where we put our effort. Gaming night with the boys doesn't really happen. We don't...
It'll happen very occasionally.
Yeah.
But mostly it's just we want to hang out. Okay, we got D&D this weekend,
but
Wizards of Might.
The question is, how has that changed? And I think honestly, the fact that we do that now is the difference. Specifically with you and I, we played a lot of games together when we first became friends. Probably for about the first 8 years, I want to say.
Something like that.
A lot of combined gaming. The second 12, not so much. It's gotten better than it used to be, but
there was a period there of a few years where we didn't play any games together at all.
No, you were barely playing games.
Life got in the way,
and you were watching like movies and stuff. It was a movie time for you. And before that, when I was a kid, I didn't play games with friends. I played games with my dad.
When I was a kid, I didn't really play games with friends either. Tabletop RPGs, some, but like video games, not when I was a real little kid, maybe. But there was a long period there where that just wasn't a thing that happened. I had one friend who I consistently played games with throughout most of my teenage years. But that's just because we were living in the same house for most of that, for a big portion of it.
That is a major contributing factor to gaming together. Any activity together is availability. And I didn't have a lot of friends. When I was in high school, there were a couple of guys we'd play games together now and then, but we weren't flush with cash. And this was like, if you wanted to play on the internet together back then, you kind of had to have a LAN party.
Yeah.
So it just wasn't really feasible in our financial situation. So we didn't really. Yeah. I mean, sometimes, but not usually. I was a solo gamer. So honestly, it's gotten better if the goal is more games with friends. Thank you for your question.
Jimothy.
It's time to close the podcast. Should I get another little music thing? Should I get like a nice like kind of melody?
I
Like
think you should follow your heart.
clog with butter and cheese?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Well then, while I inflate my heart, those of you with that kind of fetish, it's happening now. I would like to thank some people. This might be the last time. That's going to be our Trash Elite, a guy from Ohio, and Kitty and Dustin Holbrook. Elite 2, Rob. As well as Passion Killer 711, Strucity KTL, DG, and Drake Starstorm. You guys are the lifeblood that keeps pumping through my cheese-clogged arteries to keep this channel running, this podcast going, and the content to flowing. Any words of wisdom to take us out on? I've forgotten your name.
You are being worked.